Okay, so this now should be recording my screen. Preview paused. There we go, happy days. So I'll open up Autodesk Inventor and I'll go to New at the top there. I'll make sure that I'm on metric. Yours might be set to default on English. You don't want that because that's inches. Okay, so you want to make sure that you're in metric. Standard MMIPT. I've set my background to white, but yours will be grey. You don't need to worry too much about that. Okay, we do that if we're going to print screen it and crop and paste and put it in a document. It makes your work stand out a little bit better. Okay, so what we're going to do, we're going to start a new 2D sketch. Now don't click on that drop down there because people get confused and they do a 3D sketch. You just want a 2D one. So you can just click the top bit there. Now this brings up your work planes. These are your axes, okay? But they're in the wrong order. What we need to do is we need to bring them round by clicking the little house button so that our XY plane is the horizontal plane. So we click that and we sketch on that plane. Now what you guys are going to do, you're going to start to draw the frames of your box. Alright? So we choose a 2-point rectangle. Now when you did your work, you did your boxes 250 long by 70 mil deep. That's the bit we've got to make today, okay? So we're going to click on the center point there once and drag our mouse up, right? But then what we can do on the keyboard is change that to 250 and then we press tab. But where's tab? Tab is above caps lock. It's the two arrows pointing away from each other, okay? And then the width of our box then was 70. Press enter. Now you'll notice that that's gone off the screen. You can either scroll the mouse up with a wheel or double click the wheel down and it brings it into focus for you. But again, what you could do is you could just click your little house and take it into isometric view for you. Okay. Once you've got that, finish the sketch. Okay, and then we want to extrude that. Now we need to extrude this to the thickness of our material. Now our material was about 15 millimeters. All right. But let's do it so that it's an even number because we want to remove half of it later. Alright, so we'll get that to 14 and then press enter. Now that is one side, our long side of our box. At this point here, what I do is I would save my work. Okay, so click on your little eye at the top there, save as, save as. Now yours might come up with a little error, but find the file you want to save it in by clicking that drop down there. Make sure you save it in your Y drives. Don't save it anywhere other than your Y drives. Okay? I'm going to save mine to my desktop because I'll move it later. And I'll save this as 250 long box Y9. Okay? So I've saved that. So all I have to do now is just click the little disk every time I want to update. So I need to remove, these are for your rebate joints now, so I need to remove half of the material thickness there and half of the material thickness there. So I can select sketch again, sketch on that top surface, get your rectangle tool. Now I would start at the origin down the bottom here, the 0, and drag it up. It should snap to 70 on the height, and then change that thickness there, the width. The width of that rectangle there change to 14 because that is the thickness of the material and that's how much you want to remove. So change that to 14. You do exactly the same over this side. So snap to the box down the bottom, drag it up. The height should be 70 and then change that to 14. Okay? Finish the sketch and then you're extruding. Now you're not adding on this time. Can you see it's already defaulted to 10? What you need to do is if this menu here doesn't exist, it goes like that, okay? It's in this little pull down. So what you need here is cut, and you need to change that from 10, you want half the thickness. So the thickness was 14, so half of that is 7. And then press enter. Now, you may have slight little issues if you haven't drawn your rectangles right to the edge. What you'll have is you'll have a thin slither of material left here or here, okay? But don't worry too much about that because you can always go back to the model tree here, find the sketch, double click it, and then alter these measurements. So if that isn't 70, then you can change it there. Okay, and that's in the model tree on the browser on the left hand side. Finish that sketch. Okay, click save, and you might want to think about changing the material because it's not set to anything specific at the moment. If you go to default on the top there where it says materials, you've got lots of different colors, okay, and lots of different things. If I scroll right down, I think I've got oak somewhere. Red oak. Let's have a look what that looks like. Don't like that. Oh, white oak. No, that's quite dark as well. Or you can change it to the Autodesk material library in there, and then you should have more. I think pine was an option in somewhere. Plywood. Can have a look at that. Oh, that's quite nice. Okay, even though it looks nothing like ply, because this hasn't got any layers in it. And then just click save. Okay with that?